Good morning. Episode 61 of the Schulte Cast. Did go over to Jersey Mike's yesterday. They had some NIL stuff going on for the softball, so let's help out. I will say, now I may eat at different times than everybody else. I thought Jersey Mike's was as crowded as I've ever seen it. I was there just after 6. I mean, I was hungry, so I waited until I'll get after 6. And I get the same thing every time I'm in there. And so the guy knows who I am. The manager knows who I am and get it right away. Probably didn't need the chocolate chip brownie, but boy, it's really good. All right. So we were hit with a bombshell. What time was this at? Obviously the news overnight last night was Gerry Glasco has been offered the gig by Texas Tech. Okay. Some people have already put it out there that he has accepted the job. That's what the news was. Kevin Foote confirmed that he was offered it and has not made the deal yet. Rounding third softball, was that the one? That was at 7:32 last night. Tweeted out, sources have confirmed that Raging Cajun softball head coach Gerry Glasco will be named the new head coach at Texas Tech. Let me see what time I texted Foote last night. So it was just before 8 o'clock, and I was about a half an hour after the tweet came out. It is all a circular thing. It is an interesting situation. A couple things I can find out. Gerry Glasco was offered a 5-year deal, signed a 5-year deal with the Cajuns for $170,000. And I don't know if he's gotten a raise since. It's been extended a couple of times, but I have not been able to find out if he's gotten a raise. One would think he has somewhere along the way. I can't find it. All right. Also, I can't find the Texas Tech salary at all. I don't have any idea how much they're making at Texas Tech. But this is all one big Cajun circle, if you will. And, I can bring a couple of other coaching situations to this on why you would do what has been done. All right. I think it's Craig Snyder. Let me see. Who left Texas Tech to take the Tennessee job because Chris Melvo and his wife were hired by Auburn to be their head coach. So make sure we understand this. A Power 5 head coach in the Big 12, Power 5 head coach, been there for 2 years, has taken an assistant coaching job at Tennessee for some reason. I presume it's got to be money. All right. Now, the only SEC team that doesn't have a softball team is Vanderbilt. Every other team makes it, right? The Big 12 just got a lot easier because Texas and Oklahoma are heading off to the SEC. But I'm not sure you would. That's a rough go of it. That's not exactly Kane Womack taking Alabama defensive coaching job for double the money because you couldn't get a head coaching job from South Alabama. Not even considered. And we've been through this. And I really don't mean to slam Jeff Levy, but Mississippi State went the Power 5 coordinator route with 0 head coaching experience instead of somebody who's had head coaching experience and was successful. Last year wasn't as successful as it should have been, but got a 10-win season out of there. And so Kane Womack decided, I'm sure the money had something to do with it, a little bit, but it's easier to get a Power 5 coaching job from a Power 5 coordinator's job. And obviously Craig Snyder thinks it's easier to get a head coaching job from Tennessee doing well than it is from Texas Tech. Now, let's see here. Apparently, Texas Tech is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to softball in Big 12. Is that the deal? They were 8-16 in softball last year in the conference. Overall, 29-21. Iowa State and Houston. Geez, Houston 4-23. So they were 29-21 last year. In 23, oh God, they only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in there in the Big 12. And they finished dead last, 31-22, 5-13. Let's see, 22. Not a whole lot of teams playing there. They're 5-13-22, 22-27. 21 is just a post COVID year, if you will. 3-15, 21-26. They did extend their coach, their previous coach, in 19. Let's see. Let's see what the 18 standings were. 18, Texas Tech 5-13, 31-28. Let's see if 19 was any better. I don't think so. I mean, Texas Tech, a good year. Oh, they won 42-16. That's their high water mark in 19. They were 8-10 in the conference. I don't think we played in 20, right? That's COVID. Yeah, no one played in COVID. So Texas Tech really hasn't recovered at all from that. Is he going to go? And again, it's going to be much easier with no Oklahoma and no Texas. Where are the other teams here? Let me see. So you got UCF, BYU, and Houston. So that's 3 teams. I don't know what obviously the top 2. Oklahoma State had a really good year. They won 49 games. But Texas and Oklahoma, your national champs. So it's going to be much easier. But that doesn't change the fact that Texas Tech is the bottom of the barrel. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So it'll be interesting to see if he takes it. Could he pull a Napier? And what I mean by that, right? Billy dipped his toe. South Carolina was a rumored deal. I was told he had Mississippi State, but John Cohen couldn't keep his mouth shut. He went to Auburn, and he didn't know who his boss was going to be. They did hire Brian Harsin. That didn't turn out very well. At the same time, Billy knew what he had coming back, and that may have been the first year of the portal. And NIL, right? I always go by Bryce Young. But he had all these guys coming back, specifically Levi Lewis. And we've talked about this. We've talked about here. We've talked about it on Sunbelt, Lockdown Sunbelt. Where Dez has not had a healthy quarterback. Levi Lewis started each and every ball game for 3 years for Napier. And they didn't play particularly well against Texas. And I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think that Levi took that next step to be as consistently great as I thought he could have been. Now, in that year, 21, he was consistently clutch. Absolutely. When they were, a close game, consistently clutch. But and I don't know how this happened. His deep ball throws that year, I mean, he's just, throwing it on a dime. They fell behind Marshall after Billy left, and then they got Levi Lewis because they just decided to go deep, and he kept on throwing it over Marshall's head, and they kept on catching it. Let me see his numbers out of curiosity. Because I bet you he threw for a bunch more yardage. I don't know what his completion percentage was. It didn't go up to the next level as far as I'm concerned. Now, remember, he didn't throw that much. Excuse me. I was kind of looking for, not like Troy Aikman numbers, but more like I don't want him 14 and 19 for 170 yards and a few running yards. I was kind of hoping for, 25 or 32 type of deal. Let's see. Threw for 20 touchdowns, ran for 5. Let's see if we got his statistical career. Okay. Does not say completion percentage here. Oh, that's pressure. Okay. No completion percentage. So he actually threw for less yards in 21 than he did in 19, which is interesting. Completion percentage looks about the same. 243 for 378, 236 to 391, a little bit less. Only 4 interceptions, 2,917 yards, 19 touchdowns. His completion percentage was 60%. His average yards per pass. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Because it says 12.4, but his career is 7.8. But that's not right because all of his numbers are over 12. And he averaged 208 yards per game, right? But that's kind of what the offense was. I was hoping to be closer to like 250. I never thought it was going to be like 300 yards. But anyways, in that year, he was super clutch, super accurate deep. I always remember that Arkansas State drive. What was that, like the 20-play drive? And it ended up with him, I think, running it for a first down, right? They didn't kick a field goal, and they didn't throw it. It was a great play call, well executed drive, is about as perfect as a drive as I've seen. That was like with 10 minutes left to go. That was fantastic. And so now Glasgow has that in terms of almost everyone coming back. The Iowa transfer pitcher graduated, and Sam Grader left, but that's it. I think he says he's got one transfer coming in and going to let some other girls get some experience in the circle, but don't be surprised if he brings some more people in pitching wise to try to compete, because they had it all last year. They had like 4 pitchers who could pitch in the circle, and not everyone's getting tired. And it's not only at the time, right, who you have in May and June, but the more pitchers you have during the season, the less strain on the shoulders in May and June, right? The more fresh they are. Let's see what the Raging Cajuns softball stats were. Because there's a lot of innings on just 2 pitchers is the problem. Chloe and Sam. Oh. All right. So Sam Landry, 194 innings pitched. Chloe, 133. That's just, it's too much for just 2 pitchers, right? Denali Locker, she's the one who left, right? 34 innings. Sam Ryan, who Glasgow wants to give some time in the circle to, 18 2/3 innings. Lexley Delbray, 36.2. Now I gotta look. I get confused. Locker's from Iowa. Yeah. Locker's the one who left from Iowa. Yeah. But the other one was from Lexi's from Florida, right? Yeah. So maybe she gets a shot. But they're probably going to bring girls in to, put more, give more experience in the circle or more talent in the circle and not leave it up to 2 people. Compare that to 23. Where you have, let's see. You do have Sam Landry, only 147 innings pitched, but Kendra Lamb had 69. Megan Shorman had 131. Chloe only had a little bit, 33. but you have 3 pitchers there, and Kendra, closing out a bunch of games, right? She only started 3 games, but she appeared in 30 games, had 4 saves because, not a lot of close ball games for the Cajuns softball, but she would close it out. So how many innings? Well, so she had like 2. Well, it's tough to tell. Let me see. So Kendra had 30 appearances and 69 innings. So maybe some of her starts, she got obviously more innings, but basically she's pitching 2 innings a pop. So they get a lead, and whatever Chloe and Sam are pitching, Kendra's blowing it by you, right? And she was really good. Maybe not enough stamina to go 4 or 5 innings, but for 2, she was outstanding. You don't usually see that in softball as a closer. It's just very rarely happens, I think. Maybe Oklahoma had one a couple years ago, and then she transferred home. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Glasgow stays. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much money the Texas Tech job pays. The guy left for Tennessee to be an assistant. And I can't see what Glasgow got. I'm sure he's gotten a raise since he's been here. Right? He's making $170,000. That's less than half of a Beth Torina. I saw Beth Torina was making, like $450,000, something like that. Just to give you an idea. And yes, I know LSU's got the SEC network money, but it is what it is. So we'll see if Glasgow goes. Who gets the job? Does Hunter Veach get the job? Does Justin Robichaux come back? Is it, let's see here. Lacey Prejean come back. She went to Northwestern State. Nick Domain from Rage and Review. Do you do a budget hire, whatever that means? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know anything about, who you go get for softball. I will also say, obviously some girls are going to hit the portal if Glasgow leaves, right? This team is not going to compete for what could be a super regional or World Series appearance. He's probably going to take some girls with him to go to Texas Tech, right? You're going to see, some girls move on to go compete in the Big 12. I don't know if they're going to win, but okay. So now we're going to do, let's see, Texas Tech. How about this one? Texas Tech softball schedule. What have they won? Like 88, 89 series in a row. Why do I think it's like 88? Texas Tech conference-wise was 8-16. You think they won a series this year? Swept by Texas. Well, they did. They beat Houston 2 out of 3. Okay. I didn't think they were going to have one. They got swept by Oklahoma State, and they beat Kansas. I don't know what RV means. But they beat Kansas 2 out of 3. All right. I was wondering if they've, would have won a conference series because he's got all those in a row. So I'm going to say he's not going to go if he already hasn't agreed, because some sources are saying he has agreed. Foote and others only confirmed that he got an offer. Again, I don't know how much he got a raise. I can't find it. Again, you would think you would have gotten a raise. Gerry Glasgow, salary, Louisiana. You would think these would be a little bit more public than they would. Heading into the 2022 season, his salary stayed at 170. A couple of third-party websites, if you will, 175,000. Let's see here. Athletic committee. What's this? Let's see here. Board of Supervisors. See, this is August 25, 22. And this is, Glasgow, the original contract from employment. The initial terms of the coach contract is extended 1 year to 2027. Due to the extended term per Section 2B9, retention incentive payments has been updated to adjust the dates and payment amount to 40 grand. So it only says bonuses or something like that. But that's in August of 2022. So I don't know if he got anything more last year, following 23. It does not say anything there. All right. I don't know. And again, I still can't find the Texas Tech salary. Like, is it that much? I mean, is he making 300 grand? I mean, how much more do you have to go to take the Texas Tech job? Texas Tech, like, that's not, well, you can compete in the Power Five. No, not right now. You're not. You'd be building a Power Five. Remember, he walked in from Power Five and he had a built program. He had to rebuild it a little bit. A bunch of girls left because of the Mike Lateef situation. But, I mean, this was set. And now it's set for him now, right? With almost nobody leaving, right? And I don't know where. He's been offered a Power 5 job before. I don't know where. Someone, or maybe he thought he was going to be offered a Power 5 job, and then the offer didn't come. It may have been one of those deals, like my father always said, when you see one of those coaches like withdrew, it means he wasn't getting the job. So maybe that's what happened, although he, may tell it a different way. He was offered a job. I don't know which it was. But the job didn't come, and he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's nice to get this, right? Again, how much more do you have to get? Like, is he being offered, $250,000? I mean, that's a lot of money. That's about a 50% raise. But you would think UL would step up a little bit, right? I mean, you can't step up if they, like South Alabama can't step up and give Kane Womack, the money it gave him, and it can't match Alabama. Plus, it's Alabama, right? Like Billy, he got more money. I think he was getting like $2 million, right? He was getting $2 million, like $1 million publicly, if you will, and $1 million privately, if you will. Like, he was staying, all right? And a lot of these guys, like a Napier and a Kane Womack, right? So it's different on the softball level, but some of these guys are, they're like, we're going to get paid eventually. And at the same time, like, I think Billy's always said I was going to be a high school football coach, and he's making 7 figures. Like, Kane's making $800,000. They can't spend it, right? I don't know how many vacation homes they have. I know, when you get to the money of Nick Saban, where they're paying off your house, and then you get the vacation home on the lake. All right. But, they can't get a nice house. That's about it. I'd like to know if Dez moved. That's what I want to know, if Dez got a new house. All of a sudden, you can just pay off your house and you're mortgage free. And, the rest of it is savings, profit, right? Spend it later. Now, that's different when you're making, it's still a pretty good living, right? I don't think you're overflowing with that kind of money. But, do they pop them to 225 to 250? Right? I don't know. I don't even know what it would be. Obviously, South Alabama's, Texas State, I don't even know what those would be. Sun Belt softball salaries. Much easier to do the SEC salaries that are out there. I don't even know what they would be. Updated Sunbelt salaries published, but that's probably football coaches. Yeah, this is football coaches. So that doesn't mean a thing, and this is what they were following last season. Like, Tim Beck's making $1 million. John Summerall was making $1 million. He's another one. John Summerall is another great example, right? He didn't get a Power 5 gig. He wins 2 Sun Belt Conference championships, and he's not getting, Power 5 gigs. He's got to go to Tulane, Well, they probably have more resources, and when Tulane decides to do something, they certainly have more money than Troy. So you can't blame him for going. He was all set to take that. He was all set to take the Kentucky job. I went into the Kentucky-Louisville game. Mark Stoops was getting hired at A&M. John Summerall is going to go to Kentucky. And then Stoops doesn't get the A&M job. Mike Elko gets the A&M job. And Summerall goes to Tulane, which was a little bit of a surprise. Let's see what the lowest paying coach was. Terry Bowden was making $435,000. Kurt Cignetti was only making $677,000. He had a lot of success. So that's a thing, interestingly. All right. Where is Kane was making $810,000. Desimo, $755,000. No. I do not see Sunbelt list. Some of these guys are doing pretty well. Again, Tim Beck, $1 million. Sean Clark, $925,000. Ricky Ronnie, $831,000. That's the thing about being a college coach. We're not talking about living in these huge urban places that cost of living is through the roof. That's the best part, right? I mean, how much can a nice house in Troy cost? Right? Same thing here. I mean, obviously here in Lafayette and in all places, right? You can find as big as house that you want. But you can really get by with, not spending all of your money in some of these places, right? I'm sure everyone is, you want to go to River Ranch and live there. You're going to, cough it up a little bit. Why can't I find, let's see here, Sunbelt softball salaries. Try that again. No. Sunbelt coaches among lowest paid. That's 2007. We got baseball coaching salaries listed there, but it does not have, we don't have anything for softball. Again, Tuscaloosa News did SEC, and Trisha Ford at A&M was making $570,000. This is for the 2023 season. Patrick Murphy at Alabama, $500,000. Timmy Walton at Florida, $460,000. Beth Torina at LSU making $430,000. The lowest was Samantha Ricketts at Mississippi State making $176,000. Beverly Smith at South Carolina, $206,000. I mean, there is Trisha Ford's making more than at A&M, making more than 3 times what they're doing at Mississippi State. That's a big difference. We shall see. And apparently we will find out. I mean, we could find out before we finish up with Orange Theory today, if he's taken off. I presume Brian Maggard is going to make, try to squeeze a little bit more out of it, but there's only so much you can do. And we'll see. This is not exactly a plum coaching opportunity, to be honest with you. It's not as great an opportunity because he will get, if he has the kind of season that he's thinking he's going to have his opportunities, right? And like I said, he had an opportunity to go somewhere, and he may have pulled out of it. But, it would be very disappointing because everybody's coming back. You had a couple girls in the circle, and a couple girls get a little bit better. Not a lot better, but just a little bit better. And you're getting your first baseman back. You're going to compete. Now, they're going to have to do a really good schedule again because, Texas State isn't going to be as good. Texas State's losing their ace in the circle. South Alabama's losing their ace in the circle. So the Sun Belt isn't going to be quite as good as it was this year. So they're going to have to schedule appropriately to make sure that they get that RPI to where they have the ability to host, right? And so that's what always Gerry's thinking. You can't lose these midweek ball games. It's tough to lose a Sun Belt series. It's tough to lose a game in the Sun Belt. because you're always thinking we're trying to, it doesn't matter if we have, 50 wins, we're trying to host. And next year, they very well may be trying to be a national seed. Right? We'll see what happens with Texas and Oklahoma. Does that change the SEC? Yeah. Who are the national seeds this year? NCAA softball tournament. All right, let's see here. Like LSU wasn't a national seed, right? Let's see here. Final bracket. Let's see if we got the bracket here. All right, so Texas was a national seed. Tennessee was a national seed. That's 2. LSU just missed. They were 9. Stanford was 8. UCLA was 6. Oklahoma State was 5. Missouri was 7. Florida was 4. And Oklahoma was 2. So Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Stanford. Who was 3? Did 3 lose? Oh, Tennessee. Okay. Well, that probably not going to be the case with Texas and Oklahoma moving over. I don't know how many more national seeds you're going to get out of the SEC. So the Big 12 is easier, but Texas Tech just struggled. So, again, if you're doubling his salary, if you're giving him $350,000, and I don't know that they are, it's easy to see why he would take it. But if Maggard bumps his pay, and again, I don't know what his pay is, bumps his pay, we'll just say to $225,000, and they're offering him $300,000 or $250,000 even. That's not quite a plumber's job as one would think, right? It's not, again, Napier got one of the plum jobs. I know it hasn't worked out quite yet, or will, at Florida, but it's still Florida. It's still Florida Gators football, right? That would be better than any of the jobs that he had before. Maybe Auburn, but that's a tough job. But it's better than South Carolina and better than Mississippi State. I think if he stays, he'll have a better chance to get a better job if that's what he really wants. He's not. How old is Gerry Glasco? He's not a spring chicken. He's 65. And, meaning he ain't doing this for much longer. I don't think. He's got a few good years left, and I'm not sure if you want to spend them rebuilding Texas Tech or building. I don't even know if there's a re in there. It's building Texas Tech. All right, let's see what else we got going on. We got a few more minutes. I don't think I have MLB Network with the YouTube, but that's where, is that where, it's on Fox tonight, right? The Rickwood Classic is on Fox. So that'll be good. All right, the Rickwood Classic. Again, I'm learning. I love baseball history. So I didn't realize that the Birmingham Black Sox and the Birmingham Black Barons and the Birmingham White Barons played at Rickwood at the same time. Did not know that. So learning stuff as we go along. And, they had a great, celebrity softball game there yesterday. Jeter was there. Ortiz was there. I saw Terrell Owens was there. Jalen Milroe was there. Najee Harris was there. And now they're doing baseball there today. So that'll be great. Kind of like what they did a couple years ago in Iowa at the Field of Dreams. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll watch that tonight. Yankees took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. Garrett Cole was back, but they kind of blew it last night, right? They, again, kind of watching it on Twitter. I don't think it was on TV. I think they came back and then lost. Clay Holmes again. Yeah, they were down 4-1, 5-1, scored 3 in the 7th, 5-4, 1 in the 9th, only to see Baltimore score 2 in the 10th. Yankees defense wasn't great. 3 errors. How many earned runs was that? Clay Holmes gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. Cole, not bad, not great. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1 walk, 5 punch outs, 62 pitches. Doesn't feel like he was as efficient as he could have been. But that's still 15 pitches an inning. That's not bad. I don't know why he didn't go one more inning. Like what he had thrown longer and more in the minors. It's not like he's not. It wasn't like he was built up. I'm not sure. And the problem was, I say his name, Accio, he gave it away. He gave up the 2 runs and 3 hits in 1 inning. So they got belted around in the 5th, and that's kind of where they lost it. A little bad blood between the teams. Orioles hit Judge. Soto ran into the third baseman. I can't imagine anyone thinks that's intentional. I mean, I don't think the Orioles hitting Judge was intentional, but boy, you got some yappers on Twitter, and some of them are members of the media. Goodness gracious. Let's see. I had one more thing that I wanted to check out. And the College World Series. Wonderful. Yeah. 2 teams that I generally don't root for. I actually told the manager at Jersey Mike's, he was there at College Station, how disappointed I was that everybody in College Station was so nice because I just don't like A&M. But when I was there, I was like, A&M may win this thing. I mean, that's as an impressive a group as there is, and I really hadn't been watching A&M all season, like at all. But that was my first up close, and they've lost their best player. They lost Braden Montgomery. Right, he got hurt he had hurt in the Super. I think he got hurt in the Super. Yeah, he didn't get hurt in the regional. He got hurt in the Super regional. So he's out, and they're still rocking and rolling. Tennessee's just really good. I mean, it's going to be a really good 2 out of 3 series. People are right. Tony Vitello is a really good coach. Jim Schlossnagle is a really good coach. Florida had a great run. But, A&M, I said it, they very well could win it. And that's going to really be a pisser because we make fun of A&M for winning nothing. They got all the money in the world. And now we're never going to hear the end of it if Tennessee wins. So no one's got a bigger mouth than they do. And they don't mind using it. So it's going to be a little bit of smack talk. And now the SEC is another SEC championship. They won't shut up about that either. But, I mean, they're, not having really watched Tennessee, but they're just really good. Well, Christian Moore is outstanding. And A&M is really good. So it'll be interesting to watch that. All right, let's wrap things up. As far as I'm concerned, have a little thing going on today. Heading home Sunday night, home being Central New York. I think they're through their heat wave. And it was a heat wave. It was hotter in Syracuse, New York than it was down here yesterday. That has not been the case up until the last couple of days. We're off to Orange Theory today. Again, not eating all that well. I didn't get on the scale. I don't like getting on the scale. Also, my feet are tired. I get legs are tired. I'm going every day. That's probably not something I should be doing. So we'll see. But we will work out, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and then Sunday. I get to, I could work out 2 or 3 times on Sunday before I leave if I wanted to. Lift in the morning because Monday, I'm trying to get a membership at the Y. Back when I lived in Syracuse, they had a great membership. They had it was like $25 a month. I'm willing to pay a little bit so I can go lift. I don't, haven't made that much progress, but a little bit. I used to have those bands. I still do have those bands. I've lost a couple of bands, but that doesn't work at home. The doors don't. The little rubber ball that's supposed to stay underneath the door doesn't. It hits the back of my head. So we're not doing that anymore. But if I could just go to the Y, get in there, I'm in and out 30 minutes at the most. That'll be a big help. But I'll go pay $50 to be in there for 2 weeks. It's $50 to be a member for a month, but then they want $50 initiation. If I can get the initiation fee waived, then they're getting a free $25 as far as I'm concerned. No. as long as they don't do it month by month, right? And, when I sign up, it's 30 days or 31 days. So hopefully that's the case. So we'll see. Mama Schultz is going to be taking me. I got to do one of her geriatric classes. So we'll do that as well. We'll still do this. Again, I can find out if we've had a good one. Again, I'm going to have to do that Orange Theory stuff and schedule ahead, right? Because these classes get filled. It's crazy compared to what we do down here. And I don't know if they're different. Like, plus these, they don't do the tread. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Like they got 15 people on the waiting list for tomorrow's 6:15 class. Okay, so on Fridays, that strength and tread, I like doing just 50 minutes on the treadmill. All right. They have that on Friday. Let's see what they have today. Thursday, no classes available, or they're all filled, I guess. I don't know. So let's see, Monday, right? Yeah, they have an 8:45 class. It looks like these are all, and we're already to Tuesday. Tread is I'm gonna do that one. Yeah, let's do tread. Gotta sign up. Usually on a wait list you can get in. They don't have anything on a Monday. They got a 2G class. I'm not interested in. Let's see Wednesday. You got to do these things. You got to get in. No, Friday. Yeah, a lot of classes not available. I got to go through this. So we'll do that later. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. I did not do a lockdown Sunbelt. We'll get the one for the Cajuns put out there. Are they overrated? Still had a bunch of people watch. To be honest with you, kind of surprised with that. Still had over 100 views. Anything over 100 views for me is good. 200 is kind of like, 122 views. That's pretty good. And I didn't put it out on Facebook in the Facebook groups. We could do that when I get back. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out early today if Glasco is leaving. Without knowing the money, I think he's going to stay. Without knowing the money difference. If you told me what the money was, I could make a more educated guess. I think Glasgow is going to stay. I don't know if he's going all Jimmy Sexton with this. He deserves a raise in my book. And again, next year is the year. Next year, we thought this year was the year, but next year is the year. All right. They kind of need, a Carly Heath. They don't have that one bat in the lineup. They have a lot of good bats. They need that one. She's going to come through with, and she's coming through type of deal. Is what they need. So we'll see. All right. Obviously, we will have news, tomorrow, one way or the other. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And, let me see if I got, let me see if we got this. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see here. Not overlay. Is it background? Let me see. There's the logo. That's not a video clip, not a background. Let's see if it's overlay. Let me see here. I did this. Let's see. Oh, no, that's the other one. No, that's the other one. Okay. No, that is for the Sunbelt. Let me see what we got. We got up to 1270 on Sunbelt. That's pretty good. 1272. So it is growing. Got 10 days to get 28. It is growing. We've gotten a lot this month. 34 subscribers this month. That's pretty good. But we're going to try and get 100 in July and August each, trying to get to 1,500 by kickoff August 31st. All right. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We will talk to you again tomorrow.